after being vandalized more than a week ago and many Metro Atlanta families having to be turned away, the Jurassic World exhibition is going to officially reopen today. Atlanta News First, Bridget Spencer joining us live from Pullman Yards. And Bridget, a lot of people have been waiting on this, and I hear you've been waiting on it too.
Yeah, it just reminds me when I was a kid watching Jurassic Park, guys. I am a huge fan. A lot of people were upset. We were actually outside of Pullman Yards last week, Memorial Day, when we had to see people and families get turned away. They were very upset. Now, Atlanta police, they did make one arrest. They were arrested and charged Aquan Carvalho Van Duzen with burglary. They say he is one of four seen on some surveillance video breaking into the exhibit back on May 28th, the day before Memorial Day. The vandals were pretty much causing thousands of dollars in damage, police tell us. The exhibit had to shut down temporarily while crews got things fixed up. Now, many fans, of course, were upset when they had to be turned away. Some even traveled from out of the state, far and wide, like Marcy Crosby, who came from Florida.
But I can tell you, thank God I didn't bring my grandchildren, because I would not want to have to deal with their tears. And I'm sure there's a lot of families that are going to be bringing their kids or grandkids, and I feel bad for them.
Yeah, there were a lot of disappointed people last week. Now, the organizers tell us they did get an opportunity to give customers some refunds, as well as to reschedule those customers who wanted to go ahead and try to see it when it reopened. And that day finally has come. We're live from Pullman Yards. Bridget Spencer, Atlanta News First.
That is good news. Bridget, thank you.